Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. I will be going over my normal schedule as per usual, which is Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Manero, Omisigo, Lisk, Cardinal, and IOTA. All of those in that order. Any more detailed technical analysis on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities, you can check out my premium content. I have a link to that in the description of this video, and I actually just posted 2 new ones. Otherwise, if you're interested in trading altcoins, go check out Binance. They're basically the best exchange out there as far as altcoin trading goes at the time being. So I have a link to them in the description as well. And let's get started with the general market update. We can see that Bitcoin is bouncing a little bit, and overall we're actually seeing a pretty nice market bounce. However, Bitcoin Cash pretty flat, Cardano relatively flat as well, Litecoin flat, and we are actually seeing some big movers today. So I should mention that I've been saying I expect a pretty strong bounce within the first week of January, and we're getting close to that. So of course we're starting to see some of these cryptos bounce pretty nicely. We've got Tron up a massive 41%, Verge up 35%, and a cryptocurrency that I've been talking a lot about lately up 80% for RAIBLOCKS, now above $20. Absolutely amazing move, climbing up the ranking very quickly. Let me just go down the list here to mention some of the other big movers. We've got Status up 48%, and let's take a look. Power Ledger up 20%, now back above $1. Request Network, this is a cryptocurrency that I've been paying attention to and I actually really like it. I'm gonna have to do a bit more research on though, but now at a $346 million market cap, up 34%, climbing up the ranking nicely, above 50 cents now. And yeah, that's basically all the ones that I wanted to cover in the general market update. Let's get started with the Bitcoin Cash technical analysis. We can see that we're still in our triangle, symmetrical triangle formation. And actually, I wanted to draw a short-term uptrend line here because as you can see, we do have a little bit of a symmetrical triangle in the very short term that formed itself because we have been putting in higher lows. And now we're basically at the end of the symmetrical triangle where we're going to see, can we break to the upside or are we going to break to the downside, right? We're still downtrending on the MACD, histogram, and RSI. With that being said though, there definitely is an opportunity and a chance that it does break to the upside, and that would definitely fix things a lot as far as technicals go. That would probably mean that we would be above the middle band, which is currently at $2,444. That's the brown line right here, and we'll probably make our way pretty quickly back to $2,800. So there's definitely a possibility for that, but we'll just have to wait and see at which point in which direction it decides to break out of, and that'll kind of set the trend in the short term, right? Let's go over to Bitcoin now and take a look at how it's been doing. So we got a nice little bounce here as well, putting in higher lows. So we do have a small short-term uptrend in the making here. We're facing some trouble really making our way back above $13,673, which is this black horizontal support line right here. And that's a pretty important level. We want to make sure that we get back above that. I think that it's pretty likely that we do manage to get above that level within the next couple of days. I'm not too worried about it. We can see that we have a little bit of a bullish divergence on the histogram, right? We're almost uptrending slowly but surely, and still struggling a little bit. We can see that the RSI hasn't broken out of the uptrend, and that's something that we want to see happen. So based on what I'm seeing, we're not completely out of the woods just yet, right? Because we are struggling with some resistance levels and didn't really get any kind of full-on breakout, which would confirm, bullish action, but we're getting close, right? And what I drew in just now was the downtrend line that we've been in for over the past couple days, and we still haven't broken out of that. We tried to with this candlestick, didn't fully manage. So we'll just be looking for that to happen within the next couple days. If we start to lose these support levels, we'll probably come back and test the $11,414 level. But at this point, we have been downtrending, and we got a pretty nice pullback at this point. So I think that there's a good chance that we at least consolidate in this higher range near $15,000 as we move into the beginning of January. Let's go over to Ethereum now, and Ethereum still consolidating a lot. This is a cryptocurrency that, it did get some drops, like during the big drop, but overall it's been holding up pretty nicely. And once again, here it's just consolidating, right? We can see that the Bollinger Bands are quite tight right now, middle band flattening out, same thing with the Bollinger Bands really, and obviously that's reflected on the price that's now consolidating at around $730. So really it's been bouncing anywhere from $750 to $700 more or less, and until it really breaks either below that $691 mark again or above $783, we can just expect it to consolidate in between that range for the time being. As far as the MACD goes, still downtrending there. Same thing on the histogram. It is flattening out a little bit though, and the RSI is flattening out a bit as well. So we'll just be looking for a turn back over towards that orange line on the MACD to signal a sort of bullish momentum turnover. Let's go over towards Litecoin, and Litecoin has been acting pretty weak recently. With that being said, we do also have a little bit of an uptrend pattern that we just put in over the past couple of days because we have been putting in higher lows, and that means that we slowed down any kind of drop that we were experiencing, but we're still not back above the downtrend line, which is really what matters at this point. And I should mention that we do have the middle band now that's really pointing downward, same thing with the Bollinger Bands, so that could indicate some further bearish movement. With that being said, we have flattened out a little bit on the histogram, still downtrending on that RSI and still downtrending on the MACD. So we'll just be looking for a move above the downtrend line to get out of this bearish trend. Otherwise, if we lose our little short-term uptrend level, we'll probably just continue to trend lower along this downtrend line over here. And of course, once again, we'll be looking for the blue line to cross and move back towards that orange line to get some more bullish confirmation there. That'll be the true sign of when we're out of this downtrend, so to say. And let's go over to our next cryptocurrency, which is Ripple. So let me get the right exchange there. I usually do Bittrex, and we can see that we're consolidating here at these higher levels at around $2. So no massive drop actually. We actually, on the previous candlestick, we did come and test $1.50 again, but it's been relatively stable considering the big jump that it had, and still uptrending pretty nicely on the MACD, maybe topped off a little bit on the histogram. We are still downtrending though now after the big increase on the RSI, but we are above the 80 line still. And moving forward, what do I expect here? We do have a little bit of a topping candlestick. It obviously got a pretty big overextended move, but if it's consolidating like this for the time being, then I wouldn't really expect much else. That's been a pretty similar pattern over the past couple of jumps that we had. It just consolidated, maybe pulled back a little bit and then got another jump. So I think we're going to see something pretty similar this time around, maybe just a little longer of a consolidation just because it was a pretty massive increase and we got a little bit more overextended compared to the past two previous times. Let's go over to our next cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is, let's see, NEO, I believe. And let's take a look at how it's doing. So NEO looks like it's consolidating a little bit here. With that being said, it is putting in higher highs pretty consistently, right? We can see that with the middle band support. That's the brown line right here, currently sitting at $63. Still above the orange line, but flattening out on the MACD. We are in the positive range, flattening out on the histogram, and still in the symmetrical triangle formation on the RSI. So what that tells me is that we definitely didn't get that big breakout yet, which, I mean, you can see that with the price, right? We really want to make sure that we move above $77 and hold above that to kind of confirm a move back towards the all-time highs at $85. So until that happens, we won't really be in full bull mode just yet. But with that being said, it is slowly but surely climbing higher, which is what matters, right? And we're now back above that $70 support level, just facing some trouble with the previous uptrend line, which is acting as resistance, right? So we're coming in and hitting that every time, dropping a little bit lower, but slowly but surely we're moving higher, which is what matters, like I said. Let's go over to the next cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, and I need to pull out my list here. It's getting longer and longer. VERGE is next up. So VERGE looks like, yeah, still not doing great, unfortunately. A little bit similar to Litecoin, in fact, and we do have now a little bit of a symmetrical triangle formation. If I go ahead and put in the short-term one as well right here, it's trying to hold above $6.35, kind of hanging on that level right now. Still downtrending on the MACD, flattening out a bit on the histogram, same thing on the RSI. So we just have a lot of downwards pressure from this downtrend line, and until we really break above that, and I would say even $7.21 at this point, we're going to face a lot of resistance, right? We have too many levels previously put in that'll hold the price down until we get some kind of big move above $7.21. So until that happens, we're probably going to move lower. At least we have a little bit of an uptrend line now put in over here at around $5.90, but it's definitely going to face some trouble here unless it can get a nice big boost. Hopefully that comes within the first week of January, like I said, where all the cryptos bounce, and that could be a potential time where VERGE could finally, start acting more bullish again because of that jump. Let's go over to the next cryptocurrency, which is MANERO. And MANERO has been consolidating a little bit, had a bit of a pullback. I should go ahead and draw in the downtrend line at this point. So that's going to be this line right here. And also putting in higher lows. So we do have a short-term symmetrical triangle formation that we put in as well, which is interesting because we've seen this on multiple cryptocurrencies in today's daily crypto update, which means that a lot of them are going to move probably in the same direction, and most likely to the upside. We're still bullish in the crypto market, and with the beginning week of January, we can really see a lot of money come back into the market. So we could see them all break to the upside of this little symmetrical triangle formation. With that being said, we're still downtrending on the MACD, RSI, and histogram. Actually, the RSI isn't looking that bad. We managed to break above the downtrend line, and we're just kind of moving a little bit lower now. But mainly what I would pay attention to here is, can we get back above the $355 resistance level? Once we do that, we're back in our bullish mode, back towards the highs. Otherwise, we're probably going to consolidate at around $300 to $340 a bit longer, basically. Let's go over to the next crypto here, and we're going to go over to OmiseGO. And OmiseGO is actually one of the cryptocurrencies that got a really nice jump today. So made a all-time high of $23.57, pulling back a bit from there with the current candlestick. It's back in the Bollinger Band range, so that's what happened there, right? We got a little bit overextended, and we're back in the Bollinger Band range, which was actually good, right? It means that the move is a bit more sustainable than just a massive increase. And who knows, if there's more bullishness that comes back into the market in the next few days, it could even start breaking out like it did over here above the Bollinger Bands. Got a really nice increasing volume and a huge amount of volume on the breakout here. So that's a good sign. We've been bouncing nicely off the middle band, which is acting as some pretty strong support. Didn't manage to get above the previous uptrend line and that 70 level on the RSI. That's something that we'd like to see happen over the next couple of days. And MACD and histogram actually looking pretty good here. Basically got a bullish crossover on both of those. So we can maybe expect a new little uptrend here to start and moving back higher into that $20 range. I'd say OmiseGO looks pretty good at these levels. Let's go over to the next cryptocurrency, which is Lisk. And how is Lisk doing? Let's see. So we're in this formation right here, as you can see, where we're bouncing off our uptrend line and we've got resistance on our downtrend line. A little bit of a symmetrical triangle formation. We're just going to continue to trade in this formation normally until we break either to the upside or the downside. And we got the middle band that's also supporting the price levels at these higher prices, which is good. That being said, we did get a pretty massive move. Never really came back and tested $10, and we are downtrending still on the RSI, MACD, and histogram with no real signs of bouncing back up just yet. So that can obviously happen. We'll just have to wait for more confirmation here. It'll probably just consolidate in the symmetrical triangle formation until that happens. And that'll really set the trend for where we can expect it to move over the next couple of weeks after that. Let's go over to our next cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is Cardano. And let's take a look at how it's doing. So Cardano still doing pretty good here. Didn't manage to put in a higher high compared to the previous candlestick. It did put in, however, a higher low. We've been trading on top of the upper Bollinger Band, kind of like what we did over here. We could still see that happen for maybe 1 or 2 more days, but it does seem like it's slowing down here after the big increase, which is normal. Still looking pretty strong on the MACD, RSI, and histogram, but it is topping off a little bit on the RSI and on the histogram. So I just expect it now to slowly but surely come back into the Bollinger Band range as it's been doing when it had these big breakouts, right, where it consolidates and then pulls back a little bit before making the next move higher, right? We've been in a pretty similar pattern actually over the past couple of breakouts. Overall, though, it's still one of the cryptocurrencies that's holding up better than most. Good volume here, so nothing really to complain about. And let's go over to our next crypto, which is going to be the last one of the daily crypto update. That's going to be IOTA. And how has IOTA been doing? So we made our way now back above the $3.42 support level. That's a good thing. We're kind of consolidating right on top of it for the time being. With that being said, we are slowly but surely starting to see this MACD round up a little bit, and I think that'll happen over the next week or two at the most, where we can get a crossover basically above the orange line. I should point out that we already tested the orange line previously, which is a good sign, right? Because usually the second time around it manages to get that full out crossover, and as we broke out of the RSI, didn't get any kind of massive breakout there, but we did move above the downtrend line, which is a good sign, right? So it's probably going to consolidate just a bit longer, but once we see this middle band, the MACD start to come back over the orange line, the price will probably start to break out above $4 once again. So I actually like IOTA at these levels right now. With that being said, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.